Okay, now I am back. Okay, so now you're not going to see me too much. I'm going to take the camera and I'm kind of, see if this is going to work. Put this down. Off of here. That was just a book. Let's see. Can you see what I'm doing? Let me see here. Hi. Okay. Let's see if we need to go down any farther. Let's try just a little bit more. Good. Okay. So as you can tell, I put the soap, okay, maybe just a little bit. Sorry about this, guys. I didn't get my other big tripod out. Okay, this is better. All right, so I did put soap in here, okay. Now I'm going to take it and I have my gloves on, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to heat it up in the microwave. So, now, you want to start it at probably about maybe a minute and a half intervals. Okay, because of the fact you don't want to overheat the soap, you'll ruin your soap. Okay, it will get thick, it will get gooey, it'll get globby. So you don't want that to happen to your soap. So that's why we just do it in little increments, because we do that. We stir it up a little bit and add more to get to how much I need to make a batch of soap. So again, just bear with me with so why don't you guys, when you watch my video, come on and tell me what kind of soap you would like to make. Would you be interested in doing it? I can give you more places for supplies. Check your local hobby stores, see if they offer any kind of introductory classes or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to check it in the microwave now. Okay, so you'll see that there's quite a bit in there. Obviously, there's not enough in there yet. So, I'm just going to add more soap. And I'm just going to keep adding it until I get enough. You don't want to overflow it. Okay. Now, I know that looks like a lot. We want to stir it up just a little bit. And we're going to stick it back in the microwave. Okay. I am using one of my old spoons. One of my old spoons that it's my tried and true that I like to use. And you just want to try, if you're going to sell this, and even if not, you still want to try and keep everything nice and sanitary as much as possible. So, and like I said, the only color we're going to use today, and you're going to have to be very careful when you take the charcoal out. Because if you blow in order to open the bag, you're going to find yourself with a black face. And I always tell everyone too, try not to use a white washcloth when you're using this soap. It may turn your washcloth just a little, but that depends on how much that you're going to, how much charcoal or how dark you want it to be. I want it to be more of a gray color because I don't want it too black. We want kind of that grayish color. Now again, now you'll see how nice this is coming. Okay, you want to stir it a little bit. You want to feel this. If it feels extremely hot, just let it cool down just a tad. Now, I have a lot of chunks in there yet. Now I'm going to add more. Okay? And you'll see, you know, 2 pounds is only 32 ounces. So you can, that smaller mold from Amazon, you can try that. Even if it's, you know, 32 ounces won't fill it all the way to the top. You might have a ½ an inch or so. And that's just from experience, you know, with that particular mold. But it's also good, you know, as a starter mold because it's not really expensive. These they were running 20 something a piece. But again, I had these forever, for 14 years. So they worked like really well. I make cold process soap in them. I make melt and pour soap in them. So you know, they've been around with me for a long time. So sorry we have to wait for the soap to melt. That's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess. Or we don't want the soap to crumble. And I'm just checking the microwave now. So we're pretty much there. Okay, now there's a lot in here that's not exactly, look how nice and creamy that is. It makes this detergent-free goat's milk soap, makes a nice creamy, it's more of a creamier soap. Okay, so we're gonna stir, 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 stir. How hot is that getting? We're still good yet. You can take, you know, you can take its temperature, so to speak. I'm just gonna add a few more in yet to get it to how far I want, because I make little samples, because I wrap it in, as I said, in the cellophane, and the cellophane keeps it from glycerin soap when it gets damp. I've had glycerin soap melt on me, so if you keep the dampness, it'll get dewy if it gets too hot or warm. So, you know, you have to be really careful with glycerin soap. So that's why I wrap it in cellophane bags. Again, when I go to wrap it, I will do a separate video on wrapping, labeling, and that sort of thing to show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so let's see here now. We're pretty much up to the top. We're good. So this is about 42. Again, there's a lot of chunks in here that aren't, so you want to stir it. Stir it so that the chunks will melt. You don't want to overheat it. I'll stir it for a little while yet. I know it sounds tedious, but you want to do it in very, very small increments. Again, you don't want to overheat your soap. It's really warm. Why not plastic? I'd rather use glass. I do use plastic, like really heavy duty plastic containers for my cold process because I'm using lye. But for this, I like this nice big cup. Okay, we still have some lumps in here yet. You really don't want lumps in your soap, because when you go put your color in, what's going to happen to that is you're going to have white lumps in your soap, and we don't want that. Okay, let's see here what we can do. Do we still have a few lumps in here yet? Few lumps. Okay, let me put this back in for just a second or two to get them melted. Now, do you have to put it in the microwave? I think you can regulate it better in a microwave. Some people use slow cookers. I'm not a fan of them either. You can buy, if you really get into it, expensive melt and pour soap melters. Some people adapt the candle wax melters. I don't know. This is the way that I like to do it. This is the way I watch tons and tons and tons of videos. So, okay, so now it looks like everything's melted. Now, before I have to start another segment, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open our activated charcoal up. And this is extremely, extremely fine. You will see the black. If you're worried about inhaling this in, I'm going to pour a little bit of this in here. Okay. And then I take a little spoon, go into the bag, get some out. Doesn't look like a whole lot, but you pretty much get black everywhere. Now, I just did this the wrong way. Yes, people, I'm stupid today. The reason why I poured it in here is because I wanted to mix it in here. But that's okay. That's what you normally want to do. See, that's just me talking. Okay. So what I'm going to do is then, I'm just going to mix it in here. It's fine. It's a fine mixture. You will see, didn't quite, let me see this. Here's what we'll do. It would mix it better the other way, but we'll get it all mixed. All right, let me mix this and we'll start I'll be right back with the next segment, so hang on. Okay, so we're back. Now, as you can tell, everybody like me still makes mistakes. That really wasn't a mistake. The reason for that was you wanted to pour a little bit of it in here. You wanted to add your activated charcoal to how much you wanted, mix it together first, then add it in, and you won't get little lumps or anything like that of the activated charcoal. Now, since it's gray, I think this gray's fine. This is a nice gray color, and as you see, I switched to a bigger whisk, and I got it all blended in. Okay, now that's just the activated charcoal. Do not blend it vigorously because you don't want whipped soap. Okay, you don't want to get too many air bubbles in it. Now, as far as fragrance, always look up your fragrance on Wholesale Supplies Plus. They have charts. You look up the name of your fragrance. It will tell you how much. My rule of thumb, most of the time, I want to say 98% of the time, is they say 2 teaspoons per 20 ounces to 36, or 66 is 12. Okay. 2 teaspoons is my rule of thumb. 2 teaspoons to every 20 to 32 ounces of liquid soap base. Now, check the chart. That is my rule of thumb almost for all of the soap melt and pour that I make. So since this is like 42 ounces, I'm going to use a little bit more. So I'm just shaking it up a little bit. You want to add. This is, okay, so this is a tablespoon. Sometimes they say 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon. I don't know. You know, like growing up, here's what I used to do. You know, I used to say 2 teaspoons was a tablespoon. Okay, so if you want to be accurate, this is a teaspoon. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's 4 teaspoons that I put in. All right. So, and how I kind of, make sure you close it up right away. You don't want to get that spilt. Okay, and just gently stir it in to make sure that all your fragrance is incorporated. Okay. So, let me set the timer again on here so we don't run out. Okay. So we started it again. All right. So, let's see. Oh, that smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision on our camera. Okay, so most of, I would say it's mixed in. All of the activated charcoal is. You know what? I'm going to add just because the fragrance rate on there was 5%. So I'm going to add just an extra little bit more of a teaspoon. So I added about 4, I'll say 4.5 teaspoons. Okay? Because you don't want to add too much. That's where everybody says about that buys soap. You know, they say, oh, no, you know, it's the fragrance, I'm sensitive, whatever. If you put too much fragrance in your soap, that's where the sensitivity comes in. That most of the time, that's where the sensitivity comes in, and that's what I tell everyone. This is a soap. It's not going to stay on your skin, but it enhances the smell when you're, obviously, when you're taking a shower. So hang on 1 second. I check the camera. Okay, we're going good. Alrighty. So this is the activated charcoal. Like, it's very fine, like I had shown you. That was a little tiny, like 1/8 of a teaspoon that I used like 3 of them. Use however many you want to get the right. And that smells really good. Okay, I usually pour just a little bit in my tester. And the tester is because you're wrapping your soap in you're wrapping your soap in the cellophane bags, so people aren't going to be able to smell the scents through them. So I make the little testers. Okay, so this is your mold. It's already been done with the Vaseline so that it's easy to get out. So what you want to do is you want to pour all that in there so that it doesn't start to get thick on you. You don't want this to get thick on you. And you will see it's just about to the top. So I had that done pretty good. I measured that really well. Okay, you don't want it overflowing, so I take my spatula and you want to get every little bit out of this container, out of the pitcher. Okay. Now, you don't need to tap this down. All you people that do the hot and cold process methods, it's melt and pour. So they know what melt and pour is too, because a lot of them use that for, I'm going to put water in this right away. I use this. This for me is a perfect guide because it comes up to the top. Okay, we'll get that off of there. Throw that in there. Now, we're alcohol spray. You see there's, I don't know if you can tell, but there's little bubbles. We want to get rid of them. So this is how you get rid of the little bubbles on top. You spray it. Same thing, I spray the little tester. In fact, I'll pour a little more in here and spray the tester. Okay. So basically, that's it. You know, there is your soap. Okay. So you want to leave this sit. Now, mine bowed out just a little bit, only because these, again, they're old. You know, they're getting pretty old. I probably could use new ones. Sometimes I put my little alcohol bottle against it or something heavy against it because it bows out on me a little bit. I will put the little tester on here. And basically, this is all of this gets icky gooey. So anything that you used, throw right away into the sink with your container. Everything that I used, throw it in your container with water because it will get gooey. Okay. So basically, that's it. Okay. So now you want to leave this sit. I leave it sit 24 hours. So it's 3:57. I will probably cut this maybe tomorrow night because you at least want it to sit for 24 hours. Then that way you know it's going to be hardened all the way through. Okay. So when we do this, I will get my supplies out to cut it. Basically, you don't need the supplies I have acquired through when I first couple craft shows. If I needed things, I would take some of my money and buy some things that I needed. You don't need to do that once you buy them. If you take care of them, your supplies will last a long, long time. Oh, it smells great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is it's gonna move. So I'm gonna sit it sideways on my counter. Let's see how well this is doing. Do I need something heavier? It's, again, it's from the usage of the molds. Let me see. I think it'll work okay. You know, if it bows a little bit, it gets stuck in my cutter a little bit, no biggie. Okay. You don't cover it, you don't have to cover it or anything like that. So I'm just going to move it to a side, out of the way, and it's going to stay there for now. Okay? So that's it. That's basically it. As far as making your first batch of melt and pour soap. That only took a few minutes. So let me put the camera back up so you can see me. Hi. Okay. All right. So I hope at least I could try and teach you a little something. about how you can start a hobby and turn it into a business. You know, as far as the cost, again, you know, the Pyrex, I'm sure you have teaspoons, old teaspoons around the house, measuring spoons. Vaseline's very inexpensive. You don't even have to put color in it. Your first batch could be white with an oats milk and honey fragrance. You know, again, there's a $25 minimum and for free shipping and handling on Wholesale Supplies Plus. And so, you know, on there, if you order just a little 2-ounce bottle of a fragrance, oats milk and honey is really good. I would probably order, you could order one. You can also use another mold with little cavities in. You know, with just a mold with like little round cupcakes, you know, or something. Or even if you have those silicone cupcake inserts, you can sit them in your cupcake pan and you can pour soap into those and then take them out of the silicone cupcake liners. You know, there's cheaper ways. You don't have to go out and buy all these molds. As far as the goat's milk soap, there's all kinds on there for you to pick. You know, again, if you want the mold from Amazon that I had shown you, which it's one of those days, I can't find it. Sorry about that. Go on Amazon. It's a wooden mold, like I had shown you in the beginning, with, here it is. Okay, with a wooden bottom, and I use it for my oats milk and honey cold process soap. You know, like I said, it might be $11, but if you want Wholesale Supplies Plus, you know, I would get yourselves just 1 2-pound little block. Try it in something like this. Try it in a simple mold from Amazon. You could even try it, cut a milk container in half. Try it in the bottom of there. Cut the milk container about that way up so you know you have enough room. Again, you know, it's easy to measure just with water to see how many ounces that are in there. So get that. Get a 2-ounce bottle of fragrance. Sometimes you can get that for like $5, $6 depending upon what fragrance you want to try. Please don't use the cheaper fragrances, only because you don't know if there's other oils involved in those fragrances, like from Amazon and those, okay? Get them off of somewhere like Wholesale Supplies Plus, Brambleberry, one of those places. And you saw, I just used a simple whisk. I used, you know, the Pyrex, maybe the Pyrex, I'm not quite sure. That's so old, I couldn't even tell you the beginning of the price. You probably could make a batch of soap for under $30. And that's just guessing, if you even have the stuff around your house. Just try it. See if you like doing it. I did. I started making it for myself, and then everybody's going, oh, I like that soap you made. And why did you make, you know, like, oh, can I have some? And I just made some, took it to a show, and everybody loved it. But I put my own tweak on it. Like the packaging on this, I used to wrap every bar of soap in some kind of corresponding ribbon or something like that. But it got too tedious, okay? And, you know, the cellophane bags you can buy at a craft store, they're cheaper on Amazon. Again, Amazon is your friend for packaging supplies. So, again, when this gets hard enough, we will come back. I live in Pennsylvania, and the little gnats are really bad right now. So sorry about that. Okay, so tomorrow when I go to cut that, we'll do the video. I'll put down Cozy Flannel, soap part 2, cutting and packaging. And then that way you'll see how I cut, package, label the soap that we just made. So it's really simple. Okay, so I hope you learned something. I'm sorry if I was a little disarrayed today. We have a lot going on, you know, in our family these days. A lot of doctor's appointments, other things going on. So it's been pretty hectic. That's why my videos haven't been consistent, so I apologize. But please don't forget to hit that click and subscribe button. We're desperately looking for some subscribers. Please leave comments. Tell us what you would like to see. Hit the little notification button so that you know when I post videos. So, okay, until tomorrow, we'll definitely cut that soap. And then until tomorrow, we'll see you again. Okay, we'll cut the soap and see how well we did on our Cozy Flannel for the winter. And by the way, this is for 2 craft shows that I have coming up. All right, so see you tomorrow. This is Sandy from the Fashion Girls, and my hobby business or hobby is Farm Country Soap. All right, see ya. Bye-bye now.